Hey everyone, I hope you've been having a good day in your little corner of the world. I've been having a really good day in my little corner of the world. I have been thinking about this passage that I read from a book by Peter J. Carroll a number of years ago. The book is called Liber, Null, and Psychonaut, and it's about occultism, and some people may not be into that. I was really into that at one point, magic and all of that stuff. But this passage, even if you're not into that kind of stuff, right, may resonate with you, or it just made me think more deeply about life, about the things that happen to you in life, and about the absurdity of being alive. And yet it's so beautiful, but it's so ridiculous. Okay, so I'm just going to read the passage. Consider laughter. It is the highest emotion, for it can contain any of the others from ecstasy to grief. It has no opposite. Crying is merely an underdeveloped form of it which cleanses the eyes and summons assistance to infants. Laughter is the only tenable attitude in a universe which is a joke played upon itself. The trick is to see that joke played out, even in the neutral and ghastly events which surround one. It is not for us to question the universe's apparent lack of taste. Seek the emotion of laughter at what delights and amuses. Seek it in whatever is neutral or meaningless. Seek it even in what is horrific and revolting. Though it may be forced at first, one can learn to smile inwardly at all things. So that was the passage. And, sometimes in life, things happen to us that we don't understand. And I think it's easier to accept the idea that there is no inherent meaning to life, that you create your own meaning to the life that you've been given. I think it's easy to believe in that philosophy when things are smooth and things are going your way, because you're ostensibly in a flow state, right? But it's harder to believe that life is inherently meaningless when we are going through the choppy waters of our lives, right? And with laughter, we usually think of it as something that is tied to joy. But really, it's a very flexible emotion, right? It's a very flexible response. It's not an emotion, it's a response, right? So people laugh when they're nervous, when they're relieved, when they feel overwhelmed, when something they see is so absurd they can't even believe it, right? Laughter is a container for all of these emotions. And laughter can transcend emotional boundaries, right? It's not only a product of joy, right? And I think in this passage, Carroll talks about how laughter can be described as transformative, not something that you escape from pain, it's not a response that takes away your pain or lessens your pain, but it's a way of transmuting whatever you're going through. It reframes your situation because it's such an unexpected response, right? For me, I think in my own life and in the stuff that I've been able to understand about reality, and of course, this may be flawed, and this is probably going to change in a few years, in a couple of years, in several years, who knows? You know, people talk about the cosmic joke, right? That this universe is a cosmic joke. Reality is a cosmic joke. Now, what does that mean? What does the cosmic joke mean? To me, the cosmic joke is that there is no inherent meaning to life, yet we take it so seriously. And it's like when you're watching a soap opera or a movie, and those actors are taking their roles so seriously, but when lights are out and cameras are off, they're back to themselves. But some people, when we're talking about reality, like being a human being, we take our actor roles so seriously when really it didn't mean much in the end. It was just for fun. You know, this life was just for fun, just for our consciousness to experience what it's like to experience life through your own lens, through my own lens. And realizing that you are the cosmic punchline, not the victim of this reality, of this life, can evoke a sense of laughter, because it's so absurd. Like, you were the joke, I was the joke, you know, surprise, right? So I think in my own life, it was something that I always had within me, but as the years have gone by and the things that I've been through in my life, for some reason, I've cultivated laughter, even in times of deep suffering. And for a long time, I saw it as a coping mechanism. And yes, it may well be a coping mechanism for me, right? It may well be something that I do to not go off the deep end and really depressed, right? But when I've gone through it, when I have gone through the storm of my life, and I've been through so many turbulent storms, and there have been some wacky situations that have happened, and I'm just like, it's so bad that it's absurd, like absurd to the point of laughter, where I'm just like, what the fuck? What kind of joke am I? Am I being the butt of somebody's joke? And really, I am. I am the cosmic punchline. I am that joke being played upon itself, like the passage says, right? I don't think that laughter is ignoring your suffering. I think it means that you're making peace with it. You're becoming larger than the situation, right? You are training yourself to be unshakable, that nothing can bring you down. Anyway, that was my interpretation of this passage that I've been thinking about lately. I remember it really resonated with me when I first read it, and it stuck with me all these years, and it's something that I've carried with me, right? I sometimes seeing the absurdity of the situation and being able to laugh it off, it takes practice. It's kind of like a muscle, right? But like I said, it's not meant, laughter isn't meant to ignore your suffering. It's kind of a way of making peace with it, making peace that it exists, and that really the suffering doesn't have much meaning either, just like the joy in your life doesn't. You're the one that is putting the meaning on whatever experiences you are currently having, through your own point of view, through your own lens, through the things that you go through in your life. That doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. Putting meaning into things or putting meaning to your life is bad, because it's not, right? It's kind of part of the reason why, in my opinion, through my understanding of consciousness, my interpretation is that consciousness wants that. It's something different that has never existed before, that it has never done before. Live life through your lens, through your vessel, through your experiences. Consciousness is experiencing itself through you. And it's a unique experience that it has never done before. And that's why it's so important to live an authentic path, because it's so easy to blend in with the things that we are taught, right? Well, I think existence is pretty absurd. And taking it seriously is a very big mistake. And this isn't about cynicism or nihilism. I think it's more about finding freedom in the absurdity. Finding freedom in the fact that this is all a joke, and we take the soap opera so freaking seriously. And it's okay to take it seriously sometimes, right? Because we're playing a game. We have no way to escape this game. We're in this game for who knows how many years. Like, maybe some of you will be here for 50 years. Some people will be here for 20 years, which equals 20 levels, or 50 years, which equals 50 levels, or 100 years, which equals 100 levels, right? Everybody's going to be here for some levels, right? Some will be here for longer than others, but we have to play this game. We have to learn to navigate this game, and just like when you're playing your little video games on your phone, you have to navigate through the level that you're in, right? And we have no choice but to navigate it and play by the rules as best as we can, but still keeping our values and our authenticity and our truth, our essence, not forgetting about that, not taking that level so seriously, right? Knowing that, yes, you have to pass that level, yes, you have to navigate through that level, but it's still possible to, within that level, create your own little path. I don't know, I'm not too familiar with video games, so I'm sorry if I'm making a terrible analogy. But, yeah, like, we have to play the game of life. We have no choice. And then at the end of the levels, you know, when you play those little video games on your phone, there's like the very, very last level, and then once the level is done, it's done. And, you know, you fight the big, great, bad beast, and then that's the game. And then the whole app is useless because you've played all the levels and you've surpassed every obstacle, right? And that's kind of what life is, in my interpretation of it. But we take it so seriously. We take the character so seriously, not realizing that it's not going to mean anything once we reach to the last level, and then the app doesn't mean anything anymore, right? Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful life. I hope you have a beautiful, absurd, ridiculous, joyful life. And I'm wishing you all the best in this game of life. Peace and love. Bye.